Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Curry, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I am back from holiday, very excited to be back from holiday. Had 6 client calls, absolutely exhausted. Didn't even get time to record a podcast, so I'm really excited to be doing this episode as well. It's so many calls, and one of the calls really got me excited because it ended up being the theme for the rest of the other calls, and we're talking about complaints and objections. And really, this is how I'm naming them. It could evolve, but then when it comes to sex, she could be either making a complaint, and when I say complaint, she's putting these issues in front of, putting up these issues as reasons why she can't have sex. And then when you say objections, she points out your faults and those faults as the reasons why she can have sex. Now, we could rename them or we call them something else, but I've just decided to call them objections and then the complaints. And really the objection would be, I'm looking at you, and because of this series of events or this series of behaviors, I'm finding you less attractive. And most people make the mistake of then reacting to that. Oh, honey, I'm going to try and change that. Honey, I'm going to try and do something about it. And sometimes those objections could be actually true. But generally, it's her projecting her own shit on you. And the moment you start reacting, and you got to bear this in mind because you've probably had objections a long time within your relationship and you've tried to work on them and you still find yourself in a sexless relationship. So it becomes very important that sometimes when she feels shit about the relationship, feels shit about herself, she feels shit about how life is going, she projects this thing on you, hoping that you can fix something or be the answer to how she can change herself within emotions or whatever she's feeling. And because she doesn't see any change, or she sees you trying and then nothing is happening, then it's you who's failing to make the change for her to actually feel happy. You are the one to blame for her not to feel happy. And this is a horrible place to be. And so the part of the conversation was now being non-reactive, not stooping down to where she wants you to go. Is you holding your ground and really not being non-reactive, which is completely different to a complaint, which is generally you've had this one before. We don't spend enough time. We don't have enough dinner dates. We don't do enough together. We don't do enough as a family. You're not always around. All these are complaints, and which is a little bit different because the way you handle this is really being able, the ability to show empathy. Now, when it comes to showing empathy, you have to be able to give the feelings, or at least the feeling that you're listening. Generally, there's a few things that you can do about that is listen to what the person is saying, and then before you say your statement, you repeat at least 3 or 4 last things that they've said, in order for them to feel like, okay, this person is listening. You're now adding on to the other person. You're adding on to what they're saying, and what this does is just gives them that feeling of empathy, that you've got empathy. You listen to what they're saying. And this is where you can then lead them. Now, most people would probably want to lead straight to sex, but it's an opportunity to actually lead them to a different state of mind, or lead them to a different state of feelings as well. And again, this is a very important thing when you start distinguishing the reasons why you're not having sex. Are you getting more complaints, or are you getting more objections? And as you start recognizing these two things, it actually changes the way you approach, the way you're going to be doing seduction, the way you're going to be communicating, and even anticipating some of the triggers that are causing it to feel a negative state. So, like I said, I mean, I can go on and on about this, but I really wanted to just highlight this because I think it's a very important thing to understand and know. So, in terms of going to change your sexless relationship, it's something that you can now actually start identifying. And in terms of working it out, this is a process that we can take you through on the Reconnected Men for sure. but it's something that you have to be willing to actually put yourself out there. And this is one of the biggest challenges that we've been working on now, is that I've been away for a week, and the certain tasks that the guys had, but they were afraid to actually execute on the task because they didn't want to poke the bear. So really dealing with it is having the ability to poke the bear. So for example, if she's giving you objection, not fixing it is the most difficult thing, because now all of a sudden she's had years of you trying to be the master fixer, the one that is always agreeable, the one that's never going against the grain. All of a sudden now going against the grain, she is going to really make things very difficult, very uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to do that. And this is one of the things that will be the very keys to changing the relationship and making it exciting and making it really good for you guys. So hopefully this is an episode that has given you an eye-opener and just really to think about the objections and really think about the complaints that your partners have been giving you, and really start thinking about how can I actually be more empathetic with this, and how can I be more non-reactive with the other one. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you guys got something really good from this. If you want to learn more, go to Thriving Tribesmen Facebook group. We'll be giving you more lessons over there, and it should be very exciting for you to get to it, and then actually learn more about this stuff. So thank you very much. Take care.